put down those scissors. It's time to listen to JJ Meets World. That's right. And if you weren't holding scissors, put down that box cutter. If you weren't holding a box cutter, put down that piece of bread that you're eating. This episode of JJ Meets World, it's got a little bit of everything for you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this. And you can resume your scissors. And by the way, if you'd like to help support our podcast, visit jjmeetsworld.com where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some killer swag at our merch shop, or click the link to Apple Podcast and give us a 5-star review.
1, 2, 3, 4. J.J. Gordon, sort of like that Indiana Jones, in that he's always sniffing out his next adventure. Yes, he is. He's always interviewing guests so he can have them on his show and they can talk about pop culture, arts, and leisure. J.J. has his flag unfurled and he likes his french fries curled, and he's fun and then he twirled as he goes to meet the world. He will march into the rain even if his ankle sprained. Take a peek inside his brain. This podcast is called JJ Meets World.
Tucker, you're currently using cough drops. You're a cough drop user.
Yeah. Am I being... Is this a confrontation? Are
No.
you intervening right now?
No. I am neither pro nor anti cough drop. I am you do you. I don't want to get involved in your body, your choice.
Yeah. I'm dealing with just the residual final symptoms of having what probably was just a head and chest cold.
I would like to review the Mucinex Wild Cherry cough drops.
Okay.
Now, they're supposed to do 3 things. It promises 3 things on the package. It promises to alleviate your sore throat. It promises to be fast acting, and it promises to have a intense flavor.
Oh, I think it can do all those things.
It does not do any of those things.
Oh.
In fact, here's the problem. So when I have a cough drop, I want a cough drop to essentially mix with my saliva and form a soothing balm that goes down my throat.
Yeah.
These numb my tongue, and that's it.
I would
just my tongue.
I'd recommend Halls.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a long time.
And like the Winter Green or Winter Fresh. I can't remember. It's Winter something, but there'd only be one winter line from Halls. That's where I go because it soothes the passageways, but it also makes it feel a little fresher. You know, and it's got menthol in it, which they put in cigarettes so that it'll like open up your tubes, I guess, in your lungs even bigger. So especially if you're dealing with a chest cold, like not just a sore throat, but like you feel congested, those are kind of nice for that.
I remember, so I never smoked, but I had lots of friends who smoked. And I remember one of my friends, a big dumb animal, loving a cigarette that came out from the Camel Corporation. And I think they were called like Crush'ems.
What?
Yeah, I swear.
This was like, the cigarette was called Crush'ems?
So what it was is it had a little tiny like ball of menthol in the filter, and so you'd crush the filter.
Release the menthol?
Yeah, you'd crush the filter, and then while you were smoking it, you got an intense like menthol flavor through the through the Crush'ems. And he swore by it, and he's like, it helps your breath. And I'm like, it does. Shut up. You are a liar.
So I guess it's called Camel Crush.
Oh, there's no ums in there?
Camel Crush Regular Fresh Cheap Carton Cigarettes. This is from cheapcartoncigarettes.com.
Oh.
I'm not even joking. Camel Crush Regular Fresh. So yeah, that's probably what
those are the ones
what the Warthog was playing with.
Yeah. Now, here's an interesting fact when it comes to websites. So I buy my furnace filters from cheapfurnacefilters.com.
Okay.
And so I imagine there's a cheap, like any website, like anything you sell, there's probably like cheapstickynotes.com.
Cheapfurnacefilter.com?
Yeah.
Because my furnace, its filter is a really weird size.
Oh, they've got all the sizes.
Yeah. Okay.
In fact, I started on this website because I had a really old furnace at my old house, and it had a weird, it was almost like an L-shaped.
Discountfurnacefilter.com?
Nope. The word is cheap, I know for a fact, and unless they've rebranded.
Well, I am deluged with websites that offer. So now I need the app that will tell me, of all these deals, which one is the best.
There you go.
Because there's discountfurnacefilters.com, discountfilters.com, filterbuy.com, factorydirectfilters.com. AC Filters 4 less, and 4 is the number 4.com. United Filter.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one.
United Filter, is that the one that you've been going to?
I feel good about it, though, for you. I feel good about United Filter for you. So speaking of not only reviewing things and websites, but I have been working on a project that I thought of during COVID, and I have made some major headway. It involved like having to completely redo my home office. I have a new computer, so it's allowed me to do some other things. I bought a webcam, which is big for me, right? Yeah. I am officially announcing the launch of Chiptown USA, which is my potato chip review website, YouTube channel, and podcast. Now, here's what you have to know about Chiptown USA. I've got a person working on the logo right now, and I think more than anything, people are just going to want to buy the shirts because they're going to like it so much. But it's a review show about potato chips, and that's all it is. And each episode, less than 30 seconds. Like, we're not taking a deep dive into these things. We're just telling you whether or not it's a buy or not a buy, giving you a little bit of information on it, maybe how long that chip has been out. And when I first started talking about this with friends, one of the things my sister did was for Christmas that year, she signed me up for a potato chip. And I guess I should say chips, because they're not all potato based. Some of them are like, yam, sweet potato. Some of them are other material. There's one that's made out of bugs, but they're chips. But so it was a subscription service for chips coming to your door. And then recently, Emily Brooks, who's been on our podcast many times, was talking to me about Chiptown USA while we were hanging out at Costco together. And she said, I just recently got a bag of haggis flavored chips. And I said, that's awesome. So she gave me the haggis flavored chips. And so I've now figured out the setup, how it's all going to go. I did my first 2 test episodes yesterday.
Nice.
And so in the coming weeks, you're going to see more information on Chiptown USA, and I'm very excited about it. So I wanted to bring Chiptown USA into JJ Meets World and kind of talk you through my process a little bit.
Excellent.
Does that sound good?
I'm excited.
Okay. So I brought some chips here in front of us, and
I know some chips I'll have to suggest you add to your repertoire.
Right. And here's the thing. It's not only about good chips or bad chips. Sometimes it's a review of like, hey, Doritos.
At what point does it stop being a chip and become like a fry?
Oh, well, that's easy. Like if a chip is in a bag and stays like,
we're talking United States definition then, right? Because like oftentimes the Brits, when they say chips,
they're referring,
potato wedges basically.
This is Chiptown USA, bitch. Not Chiptown UK. Okay, this is Chiptown USA. That's what we're talking about here, okay? We are talking about making sure that people appreciate the art that is the chip. And here's the reason why Chiptown USA even sprung into my mind. Well, 2 reasons. Number 1, if you ever watch the show Community, they have a character named Leonard who's this old man, and he's pretty funny. And at one point, Leonard has like a frozen pizza review show at the end of like during the credits, and he goes, "This pizza is $4.99 at Kroger's," and he takes a bite of a frozen pizza. He goes, "Okay, yeah, it's a buy." And then it's like, smash subscribe, and I'm like, that's exactly the vibe I want of this show. Number 2. The companies who make these things know that they can't rely on their brand. Like, for example, Lay's, straight up Lay's, right? Lay's OG potato chip. Mm-hmm. They have realized over the years that they're either not selling enough or more people are getting into the chip arena and doing a better job than they are. So they all of a sudden start the do us a flavor competition. They start adding other flavors that don't seem like traditional, right? I mean, the fact that salt and vinegar chips are as popular as they are right now is kind of amazing to me. Here's another example. One of the things we're going to get into is I got Ruffles cheddar and sour cream, which is a Ruffles like brand that's been around for a long time.
It's a hybrid. Hybrid. Flavor.
Hybrid, yeah. And for a long time, I don't know I don't know why we're doing this, but they make flamin' hot cheddar and sour cream, meaning that they take the flamin' hot spices. They're putting on everything. There's flamin' hot Funyuns, which is ironic because when I think of a Funyun, I think of diarrhea, and now I think of burning diarrhea because they look like little buttholes.
I think Funyuns taste the way pee smells.
Your pee or all pee?
All pee.
All pee. So like when you walk into a men's room, be like, it smells like Funyuns in here.
That's what the taste smells like. The taste of Funyuns.
Is that what you refer to as like your pee?
Yeah.
I got to go make some Funyuns. Got to go down to the factory. Okay, so I would like to start with and I'm going to throw some shade at the old woman working at Casey's. So these are limon flavored, okay? So it's Limon and it's got an accent. It is a Spanish word. And she goes, "Limon. I wonder what that is." And there's a picture of a lime on here next to the potato chips. And so I was like, ugh, lady, come on.
Wait, okay, so it's lime, but it's the Spanish word for lime?
Yeah, and so like...
Did you just fart?
Oh, no, that's the bag.
I could have swore I just heard you rip.
Oh, no, that's a bag. I would get up to the microphone to let everyone. So this is part of my review on Chiptown USA is finding out how they're marketing these things to me.
Oh, sure.
So for example, limon, like it's got an international term like word to it, so that's a big deal, and it's got flavored, but sazonado. So I assume that's the Spanish word for flavored as well.
You're taking this lady to task for how she
Sazonado.
pronounced the first word, and then you go ahead and just slice and dice that second one.
What's interesting is I found with chips, this could be a really popular flavor already, like in Mexico, and they're just now bringing it to the United States. For example, at the bottom it says potato chips or papas fritas. So they've got both, they've got both English and Spanish on here, but all the stuff in the back is in English. No, I'm sorry. Ingredientes. So this might possibly be a product that's already available in Mexico, and they said, you know what, we're just going to bring it to the United States. So this is how they're trying to get me. Tangy, citrusy, crispy, delectable. Okay?
I have a theory.
Yeah, tell me about it.
That the flavor of that is going to be somewhere on the spectrum near Fruit Loops.
Really?
That's my theory right now.
I think that
maybe in the aftertaste it'll come out, but
I don't think that the flavor is going to be very intense on these. I think that this is sort of like if you ever go to a Mexican restaurant and you are eating their chips and you're like, these chips have a slightly limon taste to it.
Well, I'm curious to see your methodology because I want to see if you're instituting the precautions I think you need to be when you're doing these tests.
By the way, the guaranteed fresh until printed date is the 25th of February, 2025, $2.69 at Casey's. Open the bag. Upon an initial sniff test, they do not smell like lime at all.
That sound of that bounce wasn't heartening.
So I like to take. It's not just one chip.
Let him hear the bounce. Let him hear the bounce a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of weak.
So they for sure are Lay's chips because Lay's are very I don't want to say this.
Greasy?
No. They're very fragile. They're like a thin potato chip. Like you wouldn't use these for scooping up some good dip.
No.
Okay, so here we go.
You need ridges. You need ruffles in there for that to happen.
I'm going to take 2 chips in my first bite. You nailed it. It tastes like Fruit Loops.
Yep.
Here you go. Have some. Oh my God. I mean, the flavor of Fruit Loops hits you immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%.
I don't know what these complement, if I'm going to be honest.
Well, here's what I'm struggling with. I just finished a cough drop, went straight into Pepsi, and now I'm eating these. My flavor profile is all over the map right now. But, you also drinking your Coca-Cola there.
My Diet Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I'm being decorative with my spoon.
Yeah, I like it. My Dr. John Pemberton drink.
I wonder if it would have been different if you had taken a bite of a chili dog before you ate these.
I don't think so. And here's the thing. This isn't Chiptown, USA, the compliment to chili dogs.
They're not bad.
No, but here's the thing. You put a bowl of those in front of me, I'm going to have some. I would never actively buy those in a store again.
Here's the thing. Those just buying a bag and eating them, yeah, probably not. But on sandwiches or in a chili, I could see those being a nice complement to something else.
Maybe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I would have to figure out exactly what that would be, right?
Right.
So Lay's limon chips, I'm gonna give them 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
Yeah, like I said, I don't dislike them. I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just there. That's what it are.
Mm-hmm.
What they are.
Mm-hmm.
Next up for us will be the Ruffles Flamin' Hot. Now, how familiar are you with the Flamin' Hot brand? Like, are you eating Flamin' Hot anything else?
I have Cheetos, but I always stay away from the cheddar potato chips, which is weird for me because I love potato chips and I love cheese. But the flavor that the flavor they've created through science or whatever doesn't taste right to me. It doesn't taste like cheese. It just doesn't taste like something I want to eat. So that particular one. Actually, I wonder if Flamin' Hot would make it palatable.
Right. If it adds enough. Yeah. So the picture on here shows a picture of cheddar cheese, a dollop of sour cream on top of the cheese, and then it's surrounded by red jalapenos. And the chips, as you can see,
sounds like a great dip,
are noticeably darker than the chips advertised on the regular one. So the Flamin' Hot must mean that they're red. Even if it's not supposed to be red, they're showing it red because red indicates heat.
Why Flamin' Hot before the
because you said you didn't like the other one.
Oh, I just thought that you were gonna be testing the comparison.
Oh, the comparison? Well, I thought maybe I would, but like I thought, I'm not gonna leave you out of the conversation. I'll start you with this. So $2.69 expires March 11th, 2025.
We better get on that.
Flamin' Hot cheddar and sour cream flavored. On the back, their pitch to me is Ruffles, Flamin' Hot cheddar and sour cream, own your ridges. And it looks like it's burning through the bag. So it tells me nothing about the flavor. I don't even actually understand what this marketing is. Own your ridges. Like these chips are going to make me fat. And don't worry, buddy. Enjoy being big.
Yeah. I don't know anyone who's made fun of for embracing ruffled chips. Mm-hmm. It sounds like they're saying, yeah, don't let those other assholes keep you down.
Yeah.
I think everyone has realized that on largely ruffled potato chips are superior.
Guess how much of your daily potassium is inside one bag? Based on a 2,000 calorie diet.
12%.
Oh my God, you're close. 15%. Guess how much of your vitamin D?
8.
0.
Thanks, man.
Wow. 31% of the total fat that you should have for the day, 21% of the sodium in one single bag.
You're mostly paying for air too when
you
buy these things.
And they say it's to keep the packaging so that they don't crumple, but that's
not protecting
a lie.
them at all.
It's a dirty lie.
Is there an air cushion protecting them? No.
Whoa. It's got a smell to it.
Okay.
This is the sound of this, Oh, hold on. My grip was too tight.
It's a bit lighter.
It is.
I think that comes from the ridges that we're embracing.
I will be honest, I'm not someone who normally eats the Flaming Hot anything. Okay. This is an aggressive color.
Do you not like spice?
Well, it looks like this is having some kind of skin breakout. That's what I am attributing to. I love spice. But this to me looks like a child's interpretation of spice. Right?
Is this the first thing you're eating today?
No. I had eggs this morning.
This is the first thing I'm eating today.
Oh, great. So have you had any of the other Flamin' Hot products? Flamin' Hot Cheetos is the big one.
I've probably done Doritos. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Okay. So I'll allow you to take the first couple chips out of this one.
Yeah, it almost looks radioactive.
It does, doesn't it? It looks like a cartoon. Okay. Tucker took one good-sized chip, and he's chipping it down.
It's not hot.
It's not?
Not to me. I mean, it's a little spicy, but nothing crazy. But the overpowering taste is the cheddar.
Is it cheddar?
Yeah. I think it's the flavor profile of their combination of quote unquote cheddar and sour cream. That powder they're using. I don't like that.
The heat is an afterburn. Like I can feel it on my tongue, but it's after I've almost swallowed the whole chip.
One little swig of Pepsi just took care of it right away. Now those I would never need to try those ever again.
You would have to really love cheddar and sour cream chips.
Yeah.
And want a little extra kick to it.
And I wouldn't put those on a sandwich or in a chili. I wouldn't. Even though those things you would think it would kind of overpower it, like no, that would bring too much flavor. It would bring great texture, but the flavor is just.
Interesting thing to note, they also put like flavor lines on this. Like when you compare the bags, like there's this subtle like decorative hint of like flavor lines. Meaning like, come and get me, come and get me, come and get me. That's what those lines are saying to me. Now, this is classic Ruffles. Ruffles have ridges, registered trademark, and it's cheddar and sour cream. This brand has been around for a long time. I feel like Ruffles had their original chip, and then the cheddar and sour cream must be their next highest seller. Like, it might actually sell more than regular Ruffles.
I wouldn't be surprised if in potato chips in general, original sells the most, and then it's sour cream and onion right after.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And
I
probably
think so.
probably barbecue right after that.
Yeah, because barbecue chips have really had their like time. They've put the time in. They're there. They're the steady girlfriend who's waiting for the proposal.
Oh man, barbecue chips and Pepsi are so good.
You love those things?
Oh my god, on a warm afternoon in the summer, yeah.
What about a Pepsi that's flavored like barbecue chips, and then chips that are flavored like Pepsi?
Yeah, it's called Dr. Pepper.
You just switch them around. Okay. The guaranteed fresh date on this is the 25th of February, 2025. So similar to our limon chips.
I would 100% eat Pepsi flavored chips.
I bet you would. Yeah. I bet it'd be great.
I've dunked pizza crust in Pepsi. Love that.
Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, if Chiptown USA takes off like I think it will, I'll have the ear of the chip companies of Big Chip. I'll be able to do that. $2.69. This is their pitch on the back. Ooh, they're really pushing this as a football, as a snack that you eat during football, because there's a picture of a clear bowl with chips in it and then a football in the background. So maybe they expect players to eat this.
That sounds like it's by the side of the field, because why would, hey guys, let's watch football. Make sure to bring your footballs.
Yeah.
Everyone bring your footballs.
I'm not like, hey guys, you want to watch some hockey? Here's my jock strap. Ruffles. This is what it says in the back. Because when you have ridges, comma, the crunches are crunchier, comma, the dipping strength multiplies, comma, and your chips become Ruffles. Hold on, wait. Because when you have ridges, the crunches are crunchier, the dipping strength multiplies, and your chips become Ruffles. So, literally, they're telling me that my chips will turn into Ruffles?
I don't know. It seems like a proposition that reinforces itself.
Right. Shouldn't it say be like when your chips are Ruffles, the crunches are crunchier, the dipping strength multiplies, and you've got those ridges. It seems like this should have been flip-flopped.
Yeah. I'm also just noticing now too that this is the only context I think the word ruffle can be used positively. Because wouldn't you be like, I got ruffled. I feel ruffled.
I got ruffled up. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why they're going after football players, because they're always ruffled.
Yeah, they're on the gridiron. They're getting ruffled up.
By the way, made by the Frito-Lay Incorporated, Plano, Texas, North America. The number one ingredient in these are potatoes, followed by vegetable oil. There is cheddar cheese in here, it says. Buttermilk, sour cream, garlic powder, whey protein isolate, and milk protein concentrate. Contains milk ingredients. Here we go. Oh, this has got the most pungent smell.
Did we get your number rating on that one?
Oh, yeah, on the Ruffles Flamin' Hot. I'm going to give them a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't found anything today that I'm over the moon about. Sorry, folks, but I tell it like it is, because Chiptown USA is no bullshit. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to bend over and say Frito-Lay Let me just, altar, or you worship at your altar. Okay, so these chips have got little flecks of orange across them, which make me think that they must have chipped up some delicious cheese and just sprinkled across it. Now I'm smarter than that. These are as painted as my house is, right? This is meant to give me the illusion of cheese. Fine. It's a subtle flavor.
What a mediocre day for you.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. That's what you got to do, right?
Yeah, you have to set the now you've basically set the line, right?
Yeah.
What's a 5? Is it limon?
Limon, yeah.
Limon.
Yeah.
Which language is that?
Spanish.
Limon. It sounds
Limon.
French.
Mi hermano. Limon. Arriba. Right? Do you want to try? I know these are not your favorite.
No, because I've already now recalled the flavor of them from the previous. I just see no need.
Well,
Ugh. But it's also making me think of what are my favorite potato chips, and I'm actually kind of struggling to come up with what are the potato chips that I always go for, and I think it really depends on if I'm in a mood for dips or not.
Papa Gordon over here, he loves the Lay's kettle cooked, so they're like a thicker chip. They're hard. Their mesquite barbecue is my current chip of choice because it complements every sandwich I eat.
Got it.
Every sandwich. It's delicious.
Yeah. You know what? I'd probably say salsa sun chips, actually.
Oh, yeah?
That's my favorite chip. for
Really?
sure. Yeah. Goes great on a sandwich as well. Oftentimes, that's the way I actually introduce flavor into a Subway sandwich, is I got to put salsa sun chips on it.
Interesting you say that because I've got a Subway near my work, and when I go there, they no longer place orders through a speakerphone.
Okay.
You hit, it's a touch screen in the drive-thru.
Yep.
And now I have to go into the building because what has happened is I will place my order on the touchscreen and order my Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips, which I need to make my sandwich palatable. And they'll go up there and they'll be like, we're out of Harvest Cheddar. And I'll be like, with the speaker, I used to go up and they'd be like, welcome to Subway, how can I help you? I'd be like, do you have Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips? Oh, no, we're out. And I just drive away. So now I have to go inside and do an ocular pat down of their chip display to see if they have Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips. And I don't even bother asking if they've got like a box in the back if I don't see them. I walk in, ting, and they're like, welcome to Subway. And if I don't see them, ting, and I'm out. That's it. I'm that dedicated to Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips.
What's the base sandwich they're complimenting?
Oh, they both the tuna, if I choose that, or what I call the Tony Soprano, which is the American. It's not BLT. It's their 3-meat. It's like salami, capicola,
BMT.
The Italian BMT. But it comes with the reason I call it the Tony Soprano is it comes with American cheese on it. So it's an Italian meats, American cheese, and it makes you breathe through your nose because you get labored while you're doing it. So I call that the Tony Soprano, and it really knocks that up. And it goes great on it. And I get the Italian herbs and cheese bread too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which, by the way, did you know that in Ireland, and this is a real story that came out last year, Subway can't call their bread, they have to call it cake because
we've
of
talked
the
about this on the pod a
sugar.
couple of times before, just because it's so sugary.
Yeah, which is amazing. So at one point, I want to give someone a piece of Subway bread with birthday candles in it and be like, what is cake? Could you imagine how disappointed you'd be? Let's blow out your candles. Let's slice up your cake. Hope you like honey wheat.
Speaking of birthdays, I'm turning 40 in about 2 months and some change.
Yeah, you are.
JJ, since you've already hit that mark, what can I expect? What emotions should I be prepared for when I'm looking at my face in the mirror on the morning of April 1st?
I will tell you this. It's not going to be when you look at yourself, because you're going to look at yourself and be like, it's the same guy. No big deal, right? NBD. What's hard is you look in the face of younger people and you realize, oh, okay. Like, you listen to them talk about their dumb ideas and what they think about the world, and you're like, oh, you're so stupid, but you're young.
I do that now.
You know, and
It just gets worse.
It gets worse because you've hit this milestone age, right? You've hit this milestone age where somebody who is 20 years old, half your age, right, is coming in wanting the same salary that you have. They'll tell you their opinions on like the Ukraine-Russia conflict, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh boy, you are so misinformed. And it is low key amazing. And the things, and you realize like you did the same thing when you were that age, but now you have to watch it. I actually think a lot about your dad when I think about age, because when I got to know your dad, it was as a member of Line Benders, and your dad never wanted to stay over anywhere. So if we did like an improv show somewhere, your dad never wanted the free hotel room that they were going to give us. And the rest of us were like, free hotel room, pool, let's hang out. Like, maybe we'll run into someone from the show and they'll love it so much. And maybe, you know, like, so, but your dad never wanted to stay. Now, I've got it, like, for example, I'm prepping for an improv show, like, actually 3 improv shows this weekend.
Damn.
And I don't want to stay over anywhere. I want to do my show and I want to come home. I don't care. I'm going to get home at 2 o'clock in the morning. I want to sleep in my bed and be there.
I can't even conceive of what it takes to get the energy to do a show. To go, like, I'm going to go perform at a thing.
Oh, yeah?
Like, at this point, I'm just like, no, God, no. Why would I ever want to do that? I like being here. Like, my house is cozy.
Okay.
But also, that's me wintertime as well. Like, I just want to be in.
You hibernate?
I want to. I can't because of, life. But I would love to go, hey, I take December and January off, right? Like, to have a summer vacation, but I would take mine in the wintertime.
You, in all honesty, you do what a lot of, retired people around here do. They go south for the winter, right? They go to a place where you can be outside still and you can enjoy the warmth of the sun.
I don't mind the winter. I just want to be inside at that point. Like, my body just feels like, it's time to be in here. It's not time to be out there. Like, biologically, I need to conserve my body heat or something.
In the Muppets Take Manhattan, at one point, all of the Muppets decide that they need to split up and they can't be together anymore. And they all go to do their own things. Like, Scooter goes and he manages a movie theater, but they all like send each other postcards and catch up. So Fozzie goes to the wilderness and he hibernates. And he's sitting and he's holding on to his teddy bear, which I think is adorable that the bear has a teddy bear. And he's wearing his tie and his hat. And he's in this cave and he's like looking around. And all the other bears are meant to look more like, bear puppets are meant to look like bears. And he's like, and he goes, does anyone have any warm milk? And all of a sudden, like, this head kind of pops up next to him and he goes, hey, is this your first time? And it's like a female bear. And he's like, yeah. And he goes, I'm Sheila. Here, why don't we cuddle up together? And you kind of feel like, is Fozzie getting pulled into some kind of like weird pseudo-sexual thing? And and then they all show up at the end and they all bring their friends from their new place. And so he brings all the bears. And so the bears like get roles in their Broadway musical that they're launching.
I love Muppet Logic.
Oh, me too.
Muppet Logic is the best. Anytime Kermit is like in a swamp or on a lily pad, like I'm interested. We never see Miss Piggy on a farm, do we? Like
no.
Do we meet family members of hers?
Yeah.
Or what kind of a backstory does she have?
She has 2 idiot nephews who were in Muppets Tonight that she forced. So Muppets Tonight was a sequel series that came out in the late 90s. Well, maybe mid 90s, late 90s. It was on TGIF on ABC. And instead of being a live, like, because the idea of the Muppet Show was you're watching like a live performance like in a theater. And Muppets Tonight was, this is a sketch variety show on television. And I remember like in the first episode, she's like, these are my nephews and they need jobs. And they're like, they even make them look like they're morons, like with the way their eyes are set. And they're like, Aunt Piggy. They are low-key hilarious.
But we don't know if where she grew up, what, like, is she, I guess, because we see Kermit in a swamp, we see Fozzie in a cave. I mean, in Muppets from Space, do we see Gonzo in a spaceship?
Yeah. And we see other Gonzos. Yeah. We also, in a very interesting, this shouldn't be all but Muppets, like I'm just hijacking at this point. One of the last projects that Jim Henson did before he died was Disney was going to acquire the Muppets. They were going to buy the Muppets, and part of that deal was Jim Henson was going to become the head Imagineer for Disney and oversee stuff in the parks, because he had never had a chance to create rides and that kind of interactive thing. He was going to be a part of their decision making when it came to movies and television and all this kind of stuff. And he made a special called The Muppets in Walt Disney World. And it was a made-for-TV movie that took place on Disney's, It's a Wonderful Night or whatever their Sunday night, movie programming was. Right. And so it has all the Muppets going to visit Kermit's family. Yeah, right? Wonderful World of Disney.
Here we go.
So it starts off with all of the Muppets trudging through the swamp to go to Kermit's family reunion, and they're all hillbilly southern Florida frogs, and they're like, "Gee, Kermit, sure is good to have you back." And they talk about what they're doing. They're like, there'll be a fly eating competition, and we'll see who can hold their breath the longest. And then at night, we can watch all the fireworks from Walt Disney World. And they're like, Walt Disney World? They're like, yeah, sure. It's just on the other side of the swamp. And so then all the Muppets take off and they go to Disney World. And Charles Grodin, who played the villain in A Great Muppet Caper, has another Muppet role where he is the security guard that they all brush past. And so it's about him running around trying to capture all the Muppets. It is stellar.
It takes a special skill set to be a good actor with Muppets.
Oh yeah,
like Michael Caine is so good at acting with Muppets because he's able to treat them like they are just another actor.
Yeah, if you approach it as you're performing not with something but someone, it's all the difference. And in fact, I told that to someone when we were doing Die Hard. I'm like, this is not a puppet. This is a character in the show, and you need to do it. And so we added little bits. There's a part where at one point, he, the puppet itself, Heinrich, John McClane gets the drop on him and pushes a gun to the puppet's temple, and he's like, "You won't shoot me." And then I had the actor lift the puppet's hand and push the gun down and then look up at him. And I was like, this might be my favorite moment of this show. Is this because you are a policeman.
I always loved it when they were promoting an upcoming Muppet movie and they'd interview the Muppet characters.
Oh, it's so great.
They as though they were I'm pretty sure they did it for Christmas Carol, because I remember seeing interviews with Kermit and Miss Piggy where they were each in their costume for the movie as though they're between takes on set, and Entertainment Tonight is there to ask them about, why did you decide to make this film now? I love that sort of meta reality that they get to live in. They've been at awards shows.
I think that they should host the Oscars.
Oh my God.
Because they've presented us several times at the Oscars. And the great thing too is then you get you have to build them little tuxedos. And I love that. I love watching them wear clothes. But you're right. There's something about the idea that even in the credits, I love that Kermit the Frog as, Bob Cratchit.
Kermit as the host would be unbelievable.
Right.
Oh my God, Kermit as the host would be amazing.
And Piggy doing a song and dance
Who's
number.
The host this year?
It's Conan O'Brien.
Okay. I mean, I think they decide it was smart for them to go, you know what? These TV guys, they know how to host a thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's not do another Anne Hathaway and what's his name?
James Franco.
Or if they're not a stand-up comedian or they're not a TV show host already, they're probably not well-versed enough to be able to run this night for you.
I think that is 97% of them. But then I also think you need to add in people who have stage experience.
Sure.
So
sure. Yeah,
Hugh
you're right,
Jackman.
right.
Hugh Jackman crushed it when he hosted the Academy Awards. I don't know if you remember the opening number from the year he did it.
So I usually only watch the On Cinema at the cinema Oscars stream. So I have not actually watched the Oscars in years.
Okay, listener, go and find Hugh Jackman opening Oscars and watch that as I try and get Tucker to watch it right now, it's great because he comes out and he talks about how they're in a recession. And so, it's even hit Hollywood. And he goes, so we only had like $300 for, it was the year that The Dark Knight came out. Or
Really?
was The Dark Knight Rises that came out? It was, no, one or the other, because
that was a long time ago.
Because he essentially he goes, I built all of this in my garage. And so he does this opening number where he sings himself. It's the same year as Slumdog Millionaire. And he sings himself through all of the movies. But like the sets are made out of cardboard and like the props are really shitty. And he does this amazing song as he's going through it. And he's like, I'm just a slumdog millionaire. And then it gets to a movie called The Reader. Did you ever see The Reader? So it's got Kate
Blanche or no,
not Kate Capshaw.
Winslet?
Kate Winslet. Thank you very much. And it's a very dramatic movie. Okay, so he comes out and then there's like 6 people and they're all wearing these silver suits, like with like silver headpieces, so you don't see the human being. And they start doing like this robot dance. And he goes, The Reader. I didn't see The Reader. I meant to see it, but I didn't, so I don't know what I'm doing. The Reader. And it was one of the movies that was up for Best Picture. And like, I remember that just killed me. I think it's the same year as Les Mis too.
Okay.
Right?
Oh,
probably.
wow. So was it nominated for anything?
Les Mis?
Yeah.
I think it did get nominated for some stuff, but nothing.
Okay,
Anne Hathaway won a Best Actress for it.
Okay, got it. Because this is making me think of when Will Ferrell and what's her name from SNL? I think
Kristen
Wiig. They presented at I think maybe one of the Golden Globes as one of the presenters for the night, and their whole shtick was that they had not seen a single film that all the actresses had been in, and so they're trying to be effusive with their praise on stage, but they've clearly not read.
Just going off of the title.
Yeah, they're just going off of the title, and it's absolutely fantastic.
I don't watch all the award shows. I'm an Oscars guy, and that's my big thing. But it must have been the Screen Actors Guild Award a couple of years ago. Somebody sent me a clip, and it's Will Ferrell, and he comes out, and he's wearing cargo shorts and like a T-shirt, and he's got his 3 kids with him. Have you seen this one?
I saw this, yeah.
Oh my God. Was that maybe from this year? So
It
that's
might
why
have
it's going
been,
around?
yeah.
But so the premise is that he goes like, I'm presenting for Best Drama and Best Director. They literally called me 45 minutes ago, and the kids are, and he's like, yeah, you can use your screens. You can use it. And so like, it's like he was on his way home from soccer practice and he had to bring his kids to work with him. That I thought was one of the funniest things I have ever seen during an award show.
There's got to be an amazing compilation out there of Will Ferrell at award shows, because the one where he pees his pants on stage,
Yes.
is it with Ben Stiller, and he's like his coach on how to pee your pants, or is it with Adam Sandler? I can't remember who it is.
It's Sandler, I think.
Sandler,
Right?
maybe
Yeah.
for Billy Madison or something. I can't remember exactly what, but he has so many amazing moments. Did you see that he recently went to like a basketball game dressed as Buddy the Elf?
It was a hockey game.
Yeah, but like with a cigarette, like Buddy is come on hard.
Buddy's
time.
had a hard time. Yeah. I think that like I also, have you watched the documentary that he just made, Will? And
No, I haven't seen it.
It's amazing.
Really?
I cried through half of it. Like, it is so good. And you're watching 2 people who are such deep friends. And this story, I mean, it's an incredibly timely story, right? So it is about how Will Ferrell has worked with this person for so many years, and they transitioned. And they transitioned from male to female, and it's about their road trip across America to ask questions and see like, who is this person now? And like, Will Ferrell gets to ask questions that you've always sort of wanted to ask but never had the time. Like, if, for example, like if you were to transition and I'd be like, okay, I'm comfortable enough with Tucker, I've got a bunch of questions that I'm just naturally curious about, right? And they have such a good relationship that there's points where where it's just like, shut up. You sound like such a moron. It is so good. I actually nominated it for Best Documentary Feature in the North Dakota Film Society. And so I hope it moves along.
Yeah. Documentaries can't be nominated for Best Film, can they? Or can they be?
I think they can be.
They can be. They just never.
Because wasn't March of the Penguins not nominated for a Best Feature?
Or maybe...
Or An Inconvenient Truth?
Was one of that, or maybe Bowling for Columbine, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not positive.
I think that it can.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that it can. But I don't know. To be quite honest, it's such a sham anyway, the way that they run the Academy Awards. You only have to watch 80% of a movie. And so when you go into Academy screenings, they're like, you need to watch 53 minutes of this. And so at the 53-minute mark, a ton of people will get up and leave the theater. They won't even finish the movie. And then they'll vote on whether or not it deserves accolades. It's crazy. And as I leave you on this, so I'm going to, you're going to see some Chiptown, USA stuff bleed into JJ Meets World just a little bit because I want this audience to also enjoy that. And I'll bring some more chips for you at some point. Because one of the other things I want to do is I want to highlight people who are making chips as well. And so I don't know if you've ever had Deb Jenkins homemade chips.
Ooh.
Oh, they're good. They're good. So get ready for more Chiptown, USA coming up, and get ready for more Tucker and his Pepsi chips. I'd love to help you. I don't want to make them with you, but I want to help you realize your dream.
There's got to be a way to make them.
And it's not just pouring Pepsi on chips. I'd try it. You should, just to all hypotheses, right? You got to do everything when it comes to being a scientist, but that's not going to be the way. That's going to wrap it up for today's show. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help us continue to produce new episodes each week, visit jjmeetsworld.com, where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some swag at the merch shop, or follow our link to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all the sites the cool kids are using these days. JJ Meets World is produced every week by Tucker Lucas. You can find out more about Tucker's work by visiting moonbasemaria.com. If you want to get in touch with your host with the most, check out linebenders.com, where you can find direct contact info for JJ or booking information.
Where did that one come from?
I don't know.
You can resume your scissors. I think that's the Easter egg.
Yeah, right. There you go.